Hi, my name is Natasha and this is my very first YouTube makeup tutorial, and I just wanted to come up with something sexy and sultry for Valentine's Day. If you like these kind of looks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and also if you hit the bell, it'll notify you when I post more videos. Okay, let's get started. First things first is I moisturize my face with my IT Confidence in a Cream moisturizer. It's really cold here and my skin is super dry right now, so I need anything I can get to just get rid of these dry patches. Next, I'm going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is the pore minimizing one. I take about that much, rub it around on my fingers, and then I'm going to put it on my problem areas first, and then I'll spread it all over. This gives you a nice smooth canvas to work with when you're putting on makeup, so you don't have all these weird patchy areas. I like to just give that problem areas where I have bigger pores like a little pat down to just make sure they get blurred. Okay, next we are moving on to foundation, and today I'm going to be using my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation in the shade NC15. I'm just going to put some on my hand. I have already moistened my beauty blender, so I'm just going to dab some product on here and just start pouncing it into my face. Next, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape concealer. This is very full coverage concealer, but I love the way it goes under in my under eyes and it doesn't crease, and it brightens under there so I look a little bit more awake. So I like to highlight under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, a little on the forehead, a little on the Cupid's bow, and on the chin. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and blend all that out. Let's get to blending. Okay, the next step is to set the under eye makeup so we make sure it doesn't crease. Today I'm going to use my Bye Bye Pores loose powder. Now for the rest of my face, I am going to use my Coty Airspun loose powder. This is in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. And just press that all into my skin. So when we go to put on our bronzer and blush and all that other stuff, it will blend nicely because it's got this nice layer of powder. Next up, I am going to use my butter bronzer to just warm up the skin a little bit. I'm going to take that near my cheekbones and bring it up to the temples and on the forehead. This gives you that illusion that you've been out in the sun and you just look healthier. I'm pretty pale, so when I don't bronze up my skin, I just kind of look sickly. I also like to bring it down by the ear and under the chin. Helps hide, you know, the double chin going on. You ladies know what I'm talking about. Next, I'm going to use the same brush from Morphe. It's the M523. And I'm going to use my Hula Bronzer. But I'm going to use it more as a contouring shade. I like this one because it's not too red and it's not too ashy. So it's like perfect so it doesn't look muddy. So we're going to take that right there on the little hollow just to intensify that cheekbone area. And bring that down as well. I'm also going to take a little bit with this Morphe R8 brush. It's part of their rose gold collection. And I'm going to take a little bit and contour the sides of my nose. Nothing crazy, just to give it some dimension so it doesn't look so pale compared to the rest of my face. And then I'm going to take my powder brush because I don't want that too crazy. And blend that out a little bit. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of baking. If you don't know what baking is, it's where you take a translucent powder and you put it in areas that you want to keep highlighted. But I'm also baking because I'm going to be using darker shadows and I don't want the fallout to come on my cheeks, because when you go to wipe it away you're going to have like color on your cheeks and we don't want that. So I'm just going to take powder on my beauty blender and press it into the skin so it has a little barrier there so it protects the cheeks. I like to bring it down on my smile lines as well because I crease pretty easily. Normally I've got really oily skin, but during the winter months it's not so bad. And I'm also going to take a little bit on the sides here on the underneath our contour, because when you wipe that away it's going to clean it up some. I know I look crazy right now, but we'll wipe it off later when we're ready to finish the rest of the face. Today I'm going to be using the Morphe 35P palette. It's this gorgeous arrangement of purples and neutral tones. I just thought it would be perfect for a romantic night out on Valentine's Day. So first we're going to use the Morphe E27 brush. It's just a big fluffy brush, and we're going to start with a transition shade. Now a transition shade is a shade that you're going to put up in the crease area and you're going to really blend it out. It'll make your other colors blend easier. So I'm going to start out with this shade right here. It's kind of a peachy brown neutral tone. And I'm just going to take that and go up in the crease. Okay, next I'm going to take this Morphe 441 brush. It's a little bit more tapered than the first brush we used, so it'll be a little bit more concentrated where you put your color. So I am going to go in with this mauve tone shade here. And I'm going to put that in the crease in the same spot we had the other one, but I'm not going to blow it out as much as I did. So I'm just dipping it in, and then I'm going to tap off the excess so it doesn't go everywhere. And I'm actually going to hold my brush up at an angle like this so it stays up higher in the crease and doesn't blow out into our lid. Just take a little bit at a time it slowly. See, that just gave us a little bit more depth in the crease. Okay. Next, we're going to go in with a deeper shade in the purple family, and I'm going to be using my M443 brush. This one's definitely shorter than the other one, and it's a little bit fluffier. So we're just going to use it to get into our little outer V area. I'm not going to bring it up into the crease where we have the transition shade and the other mauve tone shade we had before, but I'm going to keep it low in this area. I'm going to be using this one right here. Just grab a little and tap off the excess, and remember to keep it low. And I just like to do little swiping motions and little circles to intensify that. So now I'm going to take that very first brush we used, the Morphe E27, and I'm just going to, there's no additional product on here, I'm just going to run it over the darker shade and the transition shade just to blend those two together so there's no harsh lines. Don't you love my funny faces I make when I'm blending them? Okay, now we're going to go in with one shade deeper than the one we had before, and that's going to be this guy right here. And tap off the excess. And I just want to deepen up the crease just a little bit more. Just remember to keep it low. See how that just kind of brings the eye out a little bit and just kind of elongates it this way. It gives you kind of that cat eye effect. Next I'm going to use this little shimmer shade that they have in the palette right here. And I'm just going to take my finger and press it into the lid. Try not to flip you guys off. You can see, this gives you that nice little pop of shimmer. Next I'm going to work on putting on a little bit of black eyeliner. This is my Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in Perversion. And I'm just going to take it very, very close to my lash line because I'm going to smudge it out and make it look smoky. This stuff dries down pretty quick, so you want to work one eye at a time. And I am just taking this Sephora professional brush that I had. It's called a smudger brush. It's really small, it's dome shaped. I'm just gonna take that and run that across that color. And kind of smudge it out. Putting that color really close to your lash line and smudging it out makes the eyelashes appear a bit fuller and not have those sparse spaces in between. Now to intensify that black as well, I am going to take the black shade that we have in the palette here and just put a little bit on that smudger brush and just run it over the very edge just to intensify it just a little bit more, because when you smudge it out it loses some of its intensity. Do the other eye. Doing this also helps if you're not really good at making a straight line. By smudging it out, it kind of helps the line just look blended in. Next, I'm going to take my Wonder Brow Brow Gel in the shade Black Brown. And I'm just going to take it, and instead of using the brush that it comes with, it's pretty wide and you don't want to really slap it on your brows like that. I take this small little angled brush and I just put some product on there. And I always like to start where I'm the most sparse, which is up here. So I take it from the angle and just bring it down. Anything super crazy with my brows. I just like to fill in the sparse areas and just shape out the edge where it just doesn't grow anymore. Too much plucking back in high school. Like for my brow to be darkest more at the end. So when I do the front part of my brow, I normally wait until there's not as much product on my brush, so it's not too harsh. Brows. Ladies, let's just admit, brows are never going to be twins. They're always going to be sisters and sometimes stepsisters, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to take and wipe off the excess powder that we had put down so we didn't have any fallout from the shadows that we placed. And for the contour line, I'm just going to take and bring it down. Next, I'm going to take this e.l.f. crease brush. It's just a small fluffy brush, but I'm going to use that for my under eye area. So what we're going to do is use the exact same colors we used on the top, so it's a complete look. So I'm just going to start out with that same transition shade. Start out with that first mauve tone. And now that I'm getting into the darker shades, I'm going to switch to a Sephora round crease brush. And this one's a small, more tapered brush. Going with those two darker shades. I'm just going to mix them together, tap off the excess, and run them underneath the lash line. I sometimes don't like to put eyeliner on my under eye, so I just use the dark colors and have that act as my eyeliner. The shimmery shade that we applied with our fingers, I'm going to take and just put it in the inner corner and bring it to meet those other colors that we just laid down. Now I'm going to curl my lashes. This is my tried and true Revlon lash curler that I've had since, who knows, probably like I was 16. Just like to get really close to the lash line and give it a few pumps, let a little bit go, and do the same. Gotta curl them lashes to Jesus, girl. Next, I'm gonna use my Grandiose Extreme Mascara. I love this stuff. It has an odd shaped wand, but it's amazing for giving you fuller and thicker lashes. So I just start near the base and I wiggle my way up. Mascara. Next, I'm going to use this blush from MAC. It's called Mocha. Thought it would go great with the mauve tones that we have on the eyes. And this is my Morphe E4. And I'll just start with the apples of the cheeks and bring it back. If you think you've gone a little too heavy-handed with your blush, you can always take your powder brush and just go over the edges lightly and buff that out. Next, we're going to move on to highlight, one of my favorite parts. I'm going to be using my Becca Jaclyn Hill highlighting palette, and I'm going to be using today, I'm going to use Prosecco Pop. It's a little more gold tone. And to highlight, I'm going to use the R36 brush from Morphe. So when I highlight, I like to highlight the top of my cheekbones. I like to bring it up a little on my temple and a little under the brow. go too heavy. I like it to be like a glow from within. I'm going to take a little bit and tip of my nose. Cupid's bow. Chin. Okay, that just looks like a healthy glow. It's nothing too intense. Next I'm going to use MAC Fix Plus to set my makeup. Keep it in place all day. And it also takes the powder that we apply to our skin and it melds it into the foundation so we don't look like we have cakey makeup on our face. I'm just going to take and spritz it down. Let that dry. I think I'm going to use NYX Suede Lipliner in Soft Spoken. It's a beautiful mauve tone. Just line the lips at my natural line here. For those of you who want fuller lips, you can just go a little above your natural lip line to make them look a little bit more poutier. I like to fill it in so if my lipstick comes off during the day, there's at least something in the background to give me a little bit of color still. For lipstick, I'm going to use a ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Lumiére 2. This is part of the collection from Kathleen Lights, if you guys watch her YouTube channel. She's amazing. So I'm just going to start at the bottom. You just need a very thin layer. I think I'm going to add a little bit of another ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Midi. I'm just going to put that right in the center. And there you have it. There is my romantic Valentine's Day look. It's pretty simple, but still sexy. I hope you guys like it.